Mkwaje? The few who are here and the many who are online, how is your evening? I hope it is okay. Thank you very much for those who are joining us on Zoom and the handful of people who are here. Tumeshukuru sana. And also our team from Karakana and Photomagic who are making sure that the Zoom stream is okay and perfect and on the sound. So my name is Steven Derito. Nimefurahi sana. It's been a while at Karakana since we did something of this nature. And just for the sake of those who have not been with us for a very long time, I'm just going to do a little bit of introductions. And then I will jump into a presentation that I have that will set the pace for today and also for the other 5 sessions that we intend to have in the next 3 months or so. I must be very quick to point out that we do not want to be superficial. I think I was just telling Kina Don Paul here that we don't want to be superficial in talking about content creation. We want to have actionable discussions. We want to be serious. This is not a social gathering, in as much as we'll have a social moment after the event. We want to have actionable, serious stuff. So my name is Steven Derito. I'm the founder and the team leader at Karakana. I also run Photomagic Studio, which is where we are, and also run a creative agency called Pink Food Consult Limited that does creative work and digital marketing and that kind of stuff. So now, I have had discussions with people. I have observed, I have noted, having been on a pedestal, having a bird's eye view of what we call the creative industry or the arts and culture, majina zingi zinatumikanga. And for the last 1 year, I have been in what some people call the trenches. Nimekuwa nikisoma sana, nimekuwa nikiresearch. First for myself. I have had my own struggles as an artist, as a creative, as a business owner in the creative industry in this country. So I arrived at a show that made me realize that, especially as a photographer, videographer, graphic designer, kazi yangu ni kutengenezea watu wengine nini? Content. Na mimi mwenyewe content yangu hata iko tu hivi hivi madhogodhanyo. And then I have also been doing a lot of deep reading and research and watching videos about the creator economy. And I realized, I don't know how many of you who are here physically or even online understand what is the creator economy. The creator economy. Your economy, content creation, and everything around it. And I will take this early opportunity also to explain that I use the word content creation, ndio munielewe, okay? But often, people underuse the word content creation, whereas I was telling someone earlier that content creation is ni estate moja in a city called digital media, okay? Content creation is just one part of digital media, which is big, massive, and really extensive. But most of us are just tunaonanga tu content creation, alafu tunaona social media inaishia hapo. So we'll come back to that. So the creative industry is one of the biggest beneficiaries of digital media, content marketing, or content creation. You can use those words the way you want them today. But I'm sure by the time we are done in our 6 sessions, there'll be a lot of clarity, which is very important. Because as artists, you can imagine all the content that is being created, the people who speak on camera or on phones, the entertainers, the dancers, wale watu wana act skits, and the people behind those phones and cameras. Most of them, if not all, are in the creative industry squarely. Wale influencers mnaangalia wanaongea mambo ya health, agriculture, engineering, real estate, construction, politics. Which people make them to become influential? It's us behind the cameras, it's us who design for them the posters, we are the ones who write the creative copy, hata kama unatumia ChatGPT, but you still must have the creativity to put the words and manage their social media pages, all that. Most likely by the time Rigiji alikuwa anasema, hi cousins, kulikuwa na mtu behind, a creative, mwenye anawaambianga, sasa ukienda huku utasema hivi. Even your own president has creatives who work with him. They tell him how to say something. Ndio ikuwe na impact. Okay? So across all sectors, politics, wherever, content creation is being propped up largely by creatives, artists, wasanii. People who creativity is what is the blood that runs inside them. So the other thing I want to say is that for those who are new to Karakana, Karakana Online, we started our activities way back in 2016, 2017. So that's taking us almost to 10 years. And there are 4 main things that we do at Karakana Online. If you're new to us, number 1, we have carried programs that do mentorship. We have done learning. Most of the teaching that we do is around photography, videography, graphic design, and related. We also do career guidance, and we do knowledge sharing. What we are doing today is in between learning, mentorship, and knowledge sharing. Saa zingine hizo vitu zina overlap, but they all work towards motto yetu kuwa, we want artists and creatives to have thriving careers. Tuache kusurvive. You know, tuache kusurvive so that you can make the money you want, have a better life, have a better career. I mean, mbona sisi wasanii tusiachie watoto wetu generational wealth? Why should it be other people? You know? So we want, we are working with other partners in the industry to make sure that artists and creatives in Kenya have thriving careers. Watu wache kusurvive tu na kungangana na vitu kama hizo, yet we have the opportunities. Okay, so I want to jump straight into the presentation. I want to set the pace so that when we start the discussion is going to be faster. And where have I kept the pen? It's here. Okay, sawa sawa. So definitely, I know I have said this many times and you've heard it being said that wasanii, artists struggle. Back many years ago, more than 2 decades ago, when I was in campus, we used to say starving artist syndrome. Na haijai change sana. It's a chorus. Yet, artists have great work, artists have amazing work. People are talented, people are working hard, people sleep late, people spend a lot of hours on YouTube learning and improving their skills. Some people are extremely talented. Naturally, to watu wanafanya kitu, whether it's art, dance, theater, anything, photography, any form of creative industry. So, but what is the problem? Yet, we are in an era right now in 2026 where digital media, social media, content creation should favor us. So, we have great talent, but people do not know us. Ni kumaanisha wewe uko na kazi kali, either iko kwa hard drive, ama you have, I have met artists who paint. Mse ako na paintings kwa wardrobe, kwa nyumba. You know, I'm talking about true stories. I know I visited someone. And I'm like, hiya. And you can paint like this. Maybe we just meet, have drinks and nini. And I have never known that this person can paint. Okay? I don't even want to get to, you know, guys we are within this room, photographers, si tunajijua. Hard drives. Hard drives imejaa picha, hizo picha hatujaiona. You know, you went somewhere, flew a drone, got amazing shots. Those shots, we have never seen them. Sijui zinangoja nini. So when we say we are invisible, it's a pandemic in our industry. It's a serious problem, you know. And we have to think about what we will do. So today is the first session of 6, and what we want to look at to make it complete is number 2, identity and positioning. When we talk about identity and positioning, there is a lot of stuff there to do with your personal branding, how people perceive you, how people think of you, wanakuweka hapa, ama wanakuweka hapa. And then, if you're like me, is your brand confused or is it clear? Mimi nilianza kama graphic designer. Hiyo ndio nilipewa hapa, the power to read, hapa UON. Mara 2007, I bought my first camera. Kidogo kidogo 2014, niko videography. Nini. Mara I am teaching. But if you stop and ask people, nderitu wanafanyanga nini? Do they know? So there is a lot about, identity and positioning. And then we have content systems. This is where, when I talk about content systems, is where I keep telling people, kuna level unafika, you cannot afford to be random. You cannot afford to be ignorant. You cannot afford to be disorganized. Huwezi afford kuingia kwa content without at least doing some research and finding out hii content inaendangaje huku TikTok, huku Facebook Reels, huku wale wanaendanga Snapchat, wale wanafanya blog post, at least have fundamental knowledge, understanding and perception of how each of those system works. Websites, SEO. So you cannot just ingia ChatGPT kwanza saa hii uambie nitengenezee website kimalenge. It must be deliberate, planned, strategic. Read about it, watch videos about it, something. Hata kama ni TikTok, kuna msee fulani anaongeanga about web design, mfuate, watch 20-30 reels of that guy and learn how that thing is done. So we'll talk about content systems. It's a system. There is nothing random about it. Then in the first session, we'll talk about platform and owned audience. Tuliambiwa, social media is ni shamba ya wenyewe. Okay? Every day Instagram wanamkanga, algorithm inatumwa pande hii. Facebook wanatupa algorithm pande hii. Twitter juzi walianza monetization, lakini wanamonetize wale watu wako verified. Okay? Na wale wana engage na watu wako verified. All platforms are selfish. So you must understand how they operate. But then, there is owned platforms. Some of you who are in this event received a message from me personally on WhatsApp. Okay? Because WhatsApp haina algorithm, by the way. In case you didn't know. WhatsApp hakuna algorithm. Ni wewe na contacts zako. Facebook unaweza post, no, hakuna mtu ataona. Because the algorithm may not favor you. Or you may post something and it just flies off. So fourth session, platform and owned. And owned audience is the gold. We shall discuss that when the time comes. Then we have money and conversion. You see, hii motion yote tunapiga hapa. Kama pesa iko kwa mfuko, we are wasting our time. Okay? You can as well just go and watch The Polygamist. Thank you very much. Now, then we have the long game. Huwezi anza kufanya content yako saa hii, useme you want to put some steroids, you want to put some turbo on your content creation without thinking. And that applies not just for your content. It also applies to your career. It also applies to family. It also, na family ni mbili. Kuna family wazazi, na kuna family kuzaa. Na kuna wale wengine around you. Everything must have a long-term plan. So, some of you are starting, perhaps. Some of us, we are katikati huko, karibu tu maliza mwendo. Some of us have been there for a while. Some of you want to scale. So there is the issue about, if you're starting off, some of you who are watching, you're in your early 20s, mid-20s, maybe late 20s. 5-10 years, where do you want to be? Okay? Where you want to be in 5 years is not where you should be now. 10 years is not where you are right now. Okay? So lazima ukuwe na long game in mind. Then I want to make a case, which I had said earlier. Sisi kama wasanii, we are the ones who drive content. Whether through comedy, whether through writing, whether through pictures, through video. So it is our natural space. Before the algorithm, before the platform, before even the creator economy came. Ukiwasha TV, kitambo, ulikuwa una watch nini? Either music, either comedy, or a newscaster. A newscaster na mkurugenzi, what's the difference? They just stand in front of the camera and just tell stories, you know? So even before you started doing content creation, imagine it was our playing field, okay? And we were there, whether it's the guys in theater, those who do live performance, or those who record music, the dancers on the music videos. A lot of us, we were already there before it even started. And this industry is called the attention industry or the attention economy. Eyeballs. Kila mtu anataka watu waone. Everybody just wants to be seen. Of course, others are seeking virality, want to go viral and stuff. But the more eyeballs you have on your content, the better it is. And we were already there. Because kitambo performances, that is other parts of the world. And even for us here in Africa, performance ilikuwanga juu sana. Whether it's drums, dance, dirges, whatever, they were very high. Then came in radio and print. Stima ikakuja, ikatuletea radio nini. Wale watu wanapiganga story. Our time, tulikuwa tunasikiza plays on radio. You listen to a play on radio and you imagine. And they put for you. And even in the recent past, I have listened to some dramatization like podcasts, like on stations like BBC and the rest. Then TV elevated pop culture. Okay? Pop culture is what has morphed into content creation and social media. Pop culture drives a lot of things. Okay? Then we have digital and social media. Hapo ndio tuko sahi. Okay? That's where we are. And it's been a journey. So the creator economy is not new. Creator economy, creative economy. By them, see confuse zote mbili. Eh? Creator economy, though they are very closely related. Okay. Emotion. Emotion. Human beings respond deeply to emotion. And as artists and creatives, we are not strangers to evoking emotion. Hata yule ana deal na paintbrush. Hata yule anaenda anachora graffiti juu ya maandamano. Artists, we are not strangers to emotion. Okay? Ndio maana saa zingine unakutanga mtu haijaingia vile nataka. You know, and we know how we feel. If you're a photographer and you snap a good picture, you know how you feel. You know? If you draw, na unaona tu imetokelezea vile ulikuwa unataka, you know how it makes you feel. I'm sure a makeup artist, akifanya bride makeup atoke, she feels or he feels, I've made her day. You know, everything. Even the fashion designer who makes the gown for the bride. Akiona tu your bride, aone picha, asema, oh, you know. All those things, evoking emotion, we are not strangers to it, which is an advantage, okay? Stories. We tell stories, whether through music, anything, live performance, in many ways. And then identity. Si tunaambiangwa sisi wasanii tumetupa mbao. Okay? Because dress code, hair, makeup, accessories, how we behave, how we talk. You don't even have to be on stage. Utaona tu mtu ameingia tu pale utasema huyo ni msanii. Vile tu ana behave. Ama unakuta ameenda for a hike. Then the artist in the hike group is just doing some weird things. Ameenda hivi anaenda kivyake kufanya mashetani zake na huko. You know? Because there is just something about creativity that sets us apart from other people, which is an advantage in a crowded and saturated thing like content creation. Okay? Now, so we are there, we are excellent, we are doing amazing things. We are excellent. Lakini watu hawatuelewi, hatujapewa stage, ama we need to grab the stage. We are the most underserved. I tell people, even in this country, creative industry, we get the short end of the stick. Hata huko kwa serikali, although this administration that we love to hate, I honestly believe they have done the most in terms of creative industry. I have to keep saying, we have to give them their flowers. Previous administrations, kutoka siku za Kibaki, Uhunye, Ruto, you know, I know we have a lot of emotions, love, hate, but at least the most we have seen happen to creatives is with the current administrations. Other things I cannot comment. Lakini hapo, give them their flowers. But we are still very far off. There's so much. Pia promises ni mingi, bado hazijaingiana. So we have to think why we are underperforming as creatives and artists. And I'm saying these things so that ukirudi kivyako, in the space that you operate, kama wewe ni makeup artist, kama wewe ni dancer, if you're a filmmaker, tuko wengi, you need to retreat to where you operate from and ask yourself, the culture, hii industry yetu inaitwa creative culture and creative economy. Where do you separate culture, artistry, and money? Because people talk about art and creativity, lakini ikifika kwa pesa, songa kando. They should be both at the table. Both of them, even you when you're pangaing your things, they should be both at the table. We should not separate commerce or making money from the creative work that we do. They must work together. The other thing, people talk about digital media, content creation for other things, lakini ni kama sisi wenyewe, we should not be part of it. Yet we are the ones who help others. So when, even in the grand scheme of things like in this country, watu wa serikali wana strategy, nini vitu kubwa, fiber tunataka iende mpaka Moyale, what. Content creation na usanii should be in the middle of all those things. Then we have to talk about business frameworks. Again, my friend David here says, passion doesn't pay bills. We are very passionate about what we do. Kuna siku landlord alikuja ukampatia passion, ukampatia your love for art. No, utatupanishwa huko nje na hizo maart zako. Nobody is going to help you. Passion doesn't pay bills. Money has to be in the pocket. So the structure is missing. And of course, kwa economy, serikali, NGO, private sector, what, higher level kind of discussion. There are a lot of gaps that are there. And then identity conflict. Hii ni serious sababu, tuseme kama mimi mwenye alianza kufanya mavideo January, February, nikaanza kufanya mavideo mingi, haya, Darito sasa umekuwa content creator. Pana, mimi ni mwalimu. I'm not a content creator, but I have to use content to communicate what I do. There's a very popular guy who talks about health online. He's not a content creator, he's a doctor. So your identity lazima to see change. If you're a fine artist, you will remain a fine artist, but you're using content to amplify what you do. So watu wanaangalia wanasema, sasa nikianza kufanya hii, unaonyesha behind the scenes, ukifanya shoot zako, sasa nimeanza kuwa content creator. No, but there are some, 1 or 2 in a million, who will go viral. And yenyewe watu tutaacha tu waite aje content creator. You know, some of our friends, especially photography, kuna watu wako na 1 million followers. In as much as that person is a photographer, sasa huyo kwa mind za watu wengi, we can call him a content creator. And I'm using the word content creator the way most people use it, although it is not exactly precise the way it is used. Okay? Then, let's talk about the 3 main things. Tunaongea about not being visible as artists and creatives. Okay? Let's talk about not being visible. Digital infrastructure. And these things, we will get deeper into them. I want to ask you who are here, and those of you who are following there on Zoom, do you have a system? Website iko, official email iko, namba ya ofisi ya kazi, WhatsApp, kukuaje huko, website, LinkedIn, ama uko tu, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Kuna sisi wazee hatupendi TikTok, lakini hakuna mtu apendi TikTok by the way. Kuna mtu apendi TikTok? Kuna mtu yuko TikTok. Haya, lakini wale the younger ones, I don't know how they do this near at Facebook, you know? And I have to keep reminding every time I have a mic. Facebook is the number 1 If not, WhatsApp. Facebook, WhatsApp, number one social media platform. So, kuna hiyo system yote. Is it coordinated? No. Kuna Twitter? Kunayo? Na unajua password? Sawa. Wangapi hapo walipoteza password ya Twitter? You know, by the masha unapostingi Twitter? Hapana. Haya. Infrastructure. So where are the gaps? Is it deliberate? Then repeatable system. Repeatable system. I want to quickly give you a repeatable system. Okay? I record my solo podcast, one podcast. It can be 45 minutes, 51 hours. From there, I think the last time I recorded, I got around, zilikuwa ngapi Kelly? 20 reels. Around 20 reels from one podcast. So record podcast, get 20 reels. 20 reels, I'm able to post them for like 2 weeks. Step, repeat, step, repeat. That's a repeatable system. From the podcast, I can do an article. I can system. That's why I said you guys need to research and read a lot. Then audience ownership. This is the gold, like I said before, audience ownership. Who do you want to reach? Do you want to reach old farmers in the villages? Do you want to reach people in government? Do you want to reach policemen? Do you want to reach parents who have children with special needs? Do you want to reach? Who do you want to reach? So where are they? And kama hauko kule wako, then you're talking to the wrong people. Okay? So audience, you must understand your audience. So this also is very close to my heart because the internet is not ours in Africa. Internet si yetu Africa. Internet ni ya maju. Is for Europe and especially the US and other countries that have deep pockets. For us in Africa, if you look at the satellite picture of the internet, it's like we don't exist. But that does not mean that all hope is lost. Unakumbuka kitambo tukiwatch the photographers here, kuna hizi matutorial tulikuwa tunawatch, alafu mzungu anakuambia ati, ucharge how much? 2 million. Hata nyinyi wenye mnachargingi half a million, 2 million anakuambia anacharge 2 million. Huku utacharge watu wangapi? 2 million. Wangapi? You getting? There is a lot of context mismatch when it comes to what we watch, what we read on the internet when we are learning. So as you go to read and understand content creation, digital marketing, content marketing, please remember context. Tuko Africa, huku ndiko kwa M-Pesa, tuko Africa, people use a lot of word of mouth, tuko Africa, kuna culture, kuna vile watu tu wana behavingi. For example, nikikwambia tutapatana after lunch. Until you eat lunch, there is no after lunch. Sorry, afternoon. Wait, tutapatana afternoon. Afternoon ni after lunch. Kama hatujakula lunch, afternoon haija people's minds. You get? Ukiambia mzungu afternoon, my friend, 12:01 is afternoon. Sisi kama hujakula lunch, huwezi nini? Sindio? So there are things, there are nuances for our context as Africans that we need to understand that only operate here. Are they called net consumers? I'm a net consumer on Twitter. I don't post a lot, but I post every day. There has been a discussion by developers, algorithm militea, that Kenyans don't pay for things. Subscribe. Mtapirate, mnalipianga hata Adobe. Hamlipi. Don't pay. I know you people. Kenyans cannot subscribe. Ati sasa uanze kulipia kitu 1,000. Nyinyi mko huko movie box na those illegal sites mkiona all World Cup. You know? You cannot pay. Not necessarily for some of those people that they can't afford, but it's not in our nature to want to be too straight. Okay? So we must understand the nuances for our context. Now, 4 quick things. And this, I wish I can stand on top of KICC and shout. The chase for virality. Kila mtu anasema, kanaweza enda viral. Hata corporate clients. Imagine they give us work and sometimes, can you make us go viral? I don't know why everybody's chasing virality, yet virality can only happen to one person in a million. We can't all go viral. I also have to say, we cannot all be famous. But that does not mean that we don't get serious with our content creation. Wewe tu focus na mambo yako. Please, you will never be famous. Wacha kwanza ni kubreak heart. You will not be famous. Like those people you are aspiring to be. The ones who post like this and in 5 minutes unaona 400 comments. Wachana na hao. It will break your heart. Manage your own expectations about virality. But pursue your audience. Pursue your audience. Be deliberate, be consistent, utafika huko. It's not just about daily posting. Okay? It is not just about daily posting, but there is a level of consistency that is needed. Okay? Because you have to understand some platforms. LinkedIn si kama upost kila siku. Naonanga mtu alipost 2 weeks ago na akona 100 comments. Okay? So understand how it is about. And then it's also not about YouTube millions. For those of you who want to be on YouTube, understand the mathematics that goes behind things like YouTube, the views, the subscription, the topic that you talk about on YouTube. Kuna mambo mengi sana ina happen huko YouTube. And it's not about Instagram fame. It's not about the fame. They are called vanity metrics. We are chasing vanity metrics. Tu ukiona umepata likes mingi unafikiria bas kwisha mimi. Are those likes converting to paying clients? Okay? There are so many spots where you can have 10 likes, 20 likes, 50 likes as compared to 1,000 likes. But they are likes coming from the right people. Okay? So I want to encourage a shift. I want to encourage a change in mindset. I want to ask you people who are here and those who are watching and those who will watch later on YouTube that kama msanii, whatever it is that you do as a creative, you create work, the artwork, the craft, it's yours. You have the vision. Siku moja nataka, I'm a graffiti artist. One day I want my art, a mural artist, to be on a big building, like Telposta, big buildings, KSCC. You also command emotion. We are not strangers, I said that. But then, we need to add, lazima tuongeze jasho kidogo, effort kidogo, and realize that as an artist, as a creative, you must become a media house of one. You are now the media house. Unajua wale waliwatch, inaitwa aje ile movie Captain Phillips? Watch Captain Phillips? The pirate movie ya Somalia. It was on big screen. When that guy aliingia kwa ship nini alimwambia, I am the captain now. You are now a media company of one. You can do all the content by yourself, by the way. I hope you already know that. Your phone, smartphone. The smartphones are so good. Hata mic wachana nayo kwanza kabla ufike hapo. So you're the media house of one. Learn to distribute. Sambaza hiyo content yako. Own the audience relationship. As you distribute, start finding out who is interested in what I am doing. Be very keen. Who is interested in what I am doing? What do I need to do to interest them? The words you use, the platforms you emphasize, how the presentation of the stuff looks like. Kama mimi ni kufundisha nataka kufundisha na kumenta, there is a way it must look like. Okay? Kama wewe ni fine artist, there is a way there are the things that you must do. You'll do your time-lapse paintings and what. If you're a drone guy, then turingie na hizo drone shots. Okay? If you're a filmmaker, then there are the people who need to fund and help you distribute, and you need a team. Where are they? All those kind of things. Build your digital infrastructure. Hapo kwa infrastructure tutarudi tena. We said there are different systems. And then, if it doesn't convert, bure kabisa. So that shift is going to bring about a lot of change. Which means you will be able to get the clients that you want. Unajua, if you don't do deliberate content creation, utapata tu kila mtu. Every type Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to get into your inbox. So that you stop chasing work that you should not be chasing. Then something about content creation is called compounding. Compounding. Compounding means kama umeanza content leo alafu unaona tu likes ni tuwili tutatu, tulia tu. Content bado iko hapo. People are noticing, people are watching, people are reading, people are sharing. One day it will bear fruits. I'll give you my own perfect example. The other day, I think 2 months ago, I went out of Nairobi with some friends to visit a friend of mine in Kirinyaga County. Some of you watching may guess who that is. Then we arrived, tulikuwa tumeenda drinks. So we arrived at midnight. And this guy, I found him, he didn't know I was going. I found him showing other people some of my posters. Those of you who know my posters, they have quotes. So he was showing them. One of the posters saying your content is better, your experience is better as content than labor. And my other friend who had invited me told me, Nandelito kumbe utu tu vitu twako ni too serious. You know their friends don't take you seriously. Your friends, your relatives, wamekuzoea already. So they'll just be like, Nandelito anafanya tu zile vitu zake. Siye ni graphic designer, so ndiye anaturingia hapa na poster zake. But all I'm saying, a small example is that you have to realize that content, whether it's on social media or even outside, compounds. That means within 6 months, that effort will take a leap. After 1 year, it will take another leap. In 2 years, it will take another leap. Some of the big brands you know in content creation in this country and elsewhere, they have been around. Wengine unaonanga haya, kumbe walianza 2-3 years ago. Haya, kumbe comedian X akona mavideo 100 na sijaiona. Sasa ndio watu wanarudi kuona wenye alianza na makomedi zingine za ufalafala, whatever, but they all compound. Then pricing power increases, and we're going to talk about that in detail as we proceed. And your audience, eventually your audience becomes your infrastructure because it is very well defined. Once your audience is very well defined, it is very clear. Okay? There are places in this city you cannot walk in and say nataka chapati dondo or whatever it is called these days. Sindio? Kuna place ukitaka ile soup. Unajua hiyo supu? You know where to go. Sindio? You cannot walk into a 5-star hotel uambie chef nikatia 50. You know what I'm talking about? Mutura. Mwezi ambia chef uko Radisson ati nikatia 50. Na ukumbuke ya 50 haitoshangi. Lazima uongeze ingine ya 20 ndio ushibe. Okay? So the same with your audience. Eventually when you're done, your audience will define itself.